Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer Nickerson and I'm here with the masterminds of tonight's special event. Guys, thank you so much for being here. And I want to start at the beginning of actually y'all's friendship and connection that led into your company that then led into this evening.
Yes, ma'am. So, Tough Draw actually started as a script that I wrote while I was in film school. And it was a sports drama about bull riding. And I got hooked up with him and his family. And he wanted to act at the time, but we got into the business side of it together. And that was 12 years ago. And, you know, we've just been heads down, hunting videos, music videos, all sorts of things. And, you know, we really wanted to carve ourselves a niche in Western culture. And we had this opportunity, and it's one of those, like, it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, I feel like. So.
Well, and with that, the idea of doing it and then actually doing it and producing it and now it's done, what was that like? Because I'm sure what you thought it was going to be and what it ended up being probably was a little different and even better when you finally have the finished product. So what's that journey been like?
It's a long journey. I mean, it's 3 years in the making. So, you know, from meeting the family and working through, you know, the partnership that we created with them to do the story, and then also figuring out what their heart's desire was, what message that they want to leave, you know, with their stamp of approval, and what Lane's legacy was going to be for all the years to come. You know, that took time.
And what was that process like? Because you came with an idea to them. Is that how that started?
Well, the film that Hughes referenced earlier, we actually were working with Sophie on that, and that's how we met them. And through the process of meeting them, they opened the door to the conversation. And obviously, we were elated to have that conversation. We're so thankful.
Grab that opportunity.
Yeah, and so we just had to figure out, you know, what are the key, and you'll see, and everybody will see when they see this film, but, you know, there were some really key moments in his life that we wanted to cover that we agreed to, because they meant a lot to us. It was his faith. It was, you got to see the film.
Yeah,
but,
don't give away too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, okay, so in learning more about him, then obviously you're learning about his family, and I would think that the depth of information to have to funnel through of what goes in and what doesn't, I bet that was a challenge.
Yeah, getting, you know, having over 80 hours of interviews and sifting through that, kind of compile it into a script and have it have a narrative through line and stuff. It was an arduous task for sure, because, you know, again, like I said, I mean, a lot of people know a lot of different things about Lane, and you know, and it's, as a filmmaker, you want to honor those things, but at the same time, you only have so long on screen. So it's like, kind of like what he was saying, what does the family want? And for us as storytellers, how do we continue to keep it entertaining and create that through line for everybody? And you know, we came up with something we feel like is really cool. I feel like we gave Lane a voice. We'll just kind of leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for everybody to see it, and it has. It's been a labor of love. A lot of people call it for us.
Well, and also we have a one-hit wonder society we live in, and Lane Cross is truly the legend in life and legacy 30 years later, where it wasn't a one-hit wonder. He's living on so many years later. So what has that been like, even to look into that? Like he's not here in the flesh, but yet his story, and even talking to people even before y'all that were saying just that looking at a picture just comes back to life, who he was. And what was that like in getting to know him through that process?
We kind of feel like we know him.
Yeah.
It's been in 3 years with the story. Never met him, but the thing that I'll point out that you'll see in the film is just, you know, we're 30 plus years after the fact, but the emotion that everybody felt that did know Lane, that met Lane first person, it's so raw and so real and still alive today. And I think that's a testament to how he lived his life and how he treated other people, and that's why we're still talking about it.
Well, I'm sure you probably feel like you have a best friend through this process in Lane.
We have a whole new family.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's actually pretty cool, because that's actually how we came up with the title. So, you know, when you go through this type of process, there's just things that stick out to you. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to us when we were interviewing all these people is just kind of like you were saying, the rawness and just the emotion that was still there. And so for us, you know, Tough has always told us this, but like, Lane never met somebody that didn't feel like they were his best friend. And so for us, with this story, we wanted to humanize Lane, and that's why we just call it Lane. Because a lot of people, when you interview them, they're talking about Lane. It's not Lane Frost, the big, you know, the big character in history that everybody knows, but it's just a guy that knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, thank you so much for putting your talent and your